Hey, it's Bearded Man Steve here. I want to talk about being undiagnosed with anything, especially if you grew up with it from childhood. But even as an adult, if you get something that went undiagnosed and it caused you to suffer because doctors couldn't figure it out what was wrong with you, or actually, I hate to say it, refused to even try to figure out, that makes it even worse. But it's even more so when you grew up with it from childhood and you get diagnosed much later in life, if at all. I know somebody who's almost 90 got diagnosed with ADHD, and just being diagnosed and realizing how much rough your life was can be a traumatic event. But being undiagnosed with mental disorders or anything can cause complex PTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's one of the 5 types of PTSD. And this can make you suffer a whole lot. It can make it debilitating. And then it adds to your symptoms of whatever's wrong with you and makes it even harder to figure out different situations. Like having PTSD and anxiety. Your digestive system stops working when you get into a panic attack or a situation where it causes basically fight or flight, flight, fawn, frown, lie, or however it goes. If it's quite a few of them. If you do any of those, it will actually stop your digestive system from working. And for some of us, multiple times a day. And that can wreak havoc. Like I had cirrhosis of the liver and non-alcoholic fatty liver, both. And basically the root cause was my PTSD and anxiety. Stopped my digestive system so many times and so long. It damaged everything. My whole GI tract. So yes, being undiagnosed can have major consequences for the rest of your life. The later you're diagnosed, the worse it is, the more traumatic it is. I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I think it was basically mid-30s. So, and I had I had CPTSD as a kid, and I lived with it, not knowing I had CPTSD, not knowing I had ADHD. And then all of a sudden it froze me. I couldn't function. The little I was around people, then all of a sudden I couldn't be around people anymore. So it really did a number. And it's mind-boggling. I look at everything. I had all the signs, all the symptoms, but doctors either didn't believe it, didn't know it existed. Even professionals in the mental health field either doesn't know it exists, doesn't believe it exists, or just think they know more than they do, and they shouldn't be treating mental health because they don't know enough. That's why I believe everybody should see specialists for whatever ails them. They figure out what's wrong with them, and then they see the specialist who basically only treats those things. Not when you look at some of these psychologist lists, they treat every single mental disorder. Well, how can you really know about all the mental disorders? Do you know how thick the DSM-5 is? And then the stuff that's not even in the DSM-5? How can a doctor treat that? It's impossible. It's impossible. So therefore, then they do more damage because a lot of insurance will only let you go see those types of doctors, and then it does more damage because nobody can figure out everything wrong with you. Nobody can figure out all your symptoms. And when you go see that ADHD specialist, especially with ADHD or autism, those specialists would know. Oh, wait, rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Wow. Wait, CPTSD, because where autism and ADHD is more likely, like 60% more likely to have CPTSD and rejection sensitivity dysphoria because of the things that our mind goes through and It's actually more vulnerable to catch any one of the PTSDs with ADHD and autism. It's actually wired so similar that it's mind-boggling. So if you have one of those, you need to, I recommend everybody look into those things, all the PTSD and rejection sensitivity, just to make sure you don't have it, because it flies under the radar and a lot of doctors don't even know it exists. But they treat it. They treat mental health, but they don't know mental health. They're all the problem mental health. So they do more damage. So it's always good to look at symptoms of different mental disorders, just so you can see if you don't know you have something, that, hey, wait, I have all these symptoms. Maybe I should go get this checked out to see if I have this before it affects you so negatively.